Hello students, today I am going to start with the third chapter of your economics, that is money and inflation. Now, what is money? Right now we are having the currency notes, coins and different kinds of money that we are using in our day-to-day life. But if we talk about primitive times, that is ancient time, you know that money did not exist during that time, and so different sources were used for the purchase and sale of the product, and from there the barter system started. Now what is barter system? Barter system, that is an exchange of goods and services against the goods and services that you require. Here when they need anything, they used to, for example, I needed rice and the other person needed wheat. I am having wheat and the other person is having rice, so we used to exchange wheat against rice, and then we can fulfill our whatever demand is there. And so that exchange of goods is called barter system. But there were few limitations in barter system, and we will study that what are the limitations of barter system. The first thing, issue of mutual adjustment of wants. For example, I want rice, but the person from whom I wanted rice, he wants cotton, and I was not having cotton, I was having wheat. So there is no mutual adjustment of wants. What thing I needed was there with the person, but what he needed is not there with me. And so this is the mutual adjustment of the wants which arises, that there were not the mutual adjustment of the wants. According to their wants, they were not getting the product from one another. This is one of the limitation of barter system. The second limitation of barter system is difficulty in storing value. For example, in earlier age, ancient time, animals and everything, food products were stored, and they were used as currencies for purchasing or selling of the product, or you can say in exchange of products, for example barter system. And so these things were not able to store. For example, you cannot, all the things that goods are we are using, they are perishable. After few times they will be perished. For example, wheat, rice, we can store for 1 year, 1.5 years, but after that it will start perishing. And so it is very difficult to store the food products. Even the animals, they don't live for the whole lifetime, and so that problem arises. There was difficulty in storing of value. And third, that was the most important, the problem of measurement of value. How to measure the things, the products, when we were exchanging the product. For example, I gave you the example of rice and wheat. So how much of wheat I should exchange against the rice? And so that was the problem of measurement of value. Same way, the person who is exchanging against cattle or cows or buffaloes, how much of rice or wheat he should give away for purchasing one buffalo, or if it is not so much of quantity, then he cannot give the half of the buffalo, it will die. And so that was the problem in measurement of the value of any of the product, whether living thing or non-living thing. From here, all the limitations, the origin and the development of the concept of money arises as the country or the civilization got civilized. They thought that now the currency or the money is very much needed for the purchase and sale of the product. And so what is money? Money is used to purchase universally in exchange of goods and services, because with the help of money all the limitations of barter system were taken away, and the hurdles that came into the way of barter system removed because of the existence or the origin money. Now, the functions of money. Here the first function of money is money as a measurable of value. It is the first function that you have to measure how much the quantity, according the quantity and quality, the value of a product is being derived, and accordingly you pay for that product. A customer who is going to purchase a packet of 8 rupees, he will give 8 rupees and purchase that value, because he knows that its value is not more than 8 rupees. So money can be used as a measure of value, how much the value of that product is. Second function is medium of exchange. Whatever things you are purchasing, you can exchange again, because in barter system it was very difficult to exchange goods amongst goods, but here now you have to pay and purchase the product. And what value, deferred value is there. For example, if I am purchasing a biscuit packet of 8 rupees and I am paying him 10 rupees, he will give me 2 rupees back. Third payment, deferred payment. And so medium of exchange became very easy, that how much 8 rupees is costing, he will return, either I will pay him 8 rupees, or if I am giving 10 rupees, he will return me 2 rupees back also. So it becomes very easy. And the last function is store of value. Even you can store money for years after years without any problem, and so you can store the value, which was very difficult in barter system, because there were the commodities which were going to perish, there were the animals which were going to have any disease or die away, and so there was no storing of that value. But now here, because of, with the help of money, you can store the value, you can convert it in different systems are there. You can keep your money in fixed deposit, in your house cupboard, you can make it very safely, and you can invest in different schemes that are going on in the country, and in such a way you can put the value of your money and you can save it for the future. Now different kinds of money we will study. The first different kind of money is commodity money, which was used during ancient time or olden age, that the products were used against purchasing of different products, that is called commodity money. That animal money, that even animals were used in barter system to purchase and sale of the product. The third one is metal money, coins. You have seen in your time also, every coin, every coin, silver coins, brass coins. And so during the age of the and queens, the metal money was introduced, until today we are having few metal money. Then comes paper money, the currency notes that you are having, 100 rupee note or 200 rupee note, that is called paper. Comes plastic money, that is the different cards that are you are using or your parents are using, the ATM cards, that is debit card, credit card. These are the cards which are being called plastic money. And the last one is banking money, that can be, you can say, cyber money, that is used in the banks. Now the next topic is inflation. First, students, what is inflation? Inflation means a rise in the general price level, or you can say excess demand over supply of goods. For example, right now we are not having so much of excess demand, but as soon as people will have money, they will start demanding more and more goods, and at that time the supply of goods will become less. So what will happen to the price of the product when the supply is less? The price of the product goes very high, and that is called inflation. Many times you have heard that the onion is being sold for 100 rupees, 200 rupees per kg. That means there is an inflation when the price, when the demand is very high and the supply of that good is very less, it gives rise to the inflation. Now what are the causes of inflation? First reason, the main point, that is increase in demand. There is increase in demand. When people have more money, what they do, they start increasing, or they have more and more demand. And so What are the reasons for increase in demand? The first thing, increase in supply of money. As soon as more and more money, they start progressing. The first thing that they do is they earn more money. They will go for luxurious thing, and that means there is increase in the supply of their money, and so they are demanding more and more things what they were demanding earlier. Now the second reason for increase in demand is increase in public expenditure. Whatever expenditure is done by the government is called public expenditure, and when such things facilities increases, that time also there is increase in the demand, because people go for luxurious things and so on. And the third reason is definitely overpopulation. As the population of a country increases, that means number of people increases. More number of people means more demand. That is directly related with the number of people, and so overpopulation, that means the population of that country is rising day by day, and definitely more number of people will have more demand for their life. And so these are the three reasons that increases in the demand, give rise in the demand. Now the next reason is increase in cost of production. Why the cost of production increases? Because all the factors of production, that is land, labor, capital, all these three factors of production, they rises. For example, the price of the land is high, the labor that they are costing, that is also high, and the raw materials that you are purchasing, that is also high, and so there is increase in the cost of production. Now other factors that affects the cost of production is taxation policy. If the tax policy of a country rises, that means if the government starts charging more tax on each and every product, definitely the cost of that product will increase, and so it will increase the cost of production. Second, increase in price. If the production house or the producer increases the price of the product, then also the cost of production will increase. Import. Now the increase in the price when the price of the product that we are importing, the other country increases the price of that product which we are importing to our country, so we are paying them more, and so the cost of production will also increase, because other country has increased the price of that product. Now we are purchasing from them and we will sell in a country, so if their price is more, then our price will be also more. And the third point is scarcity. As I told you in the example of onions, whichever products are scarce, they are produced in less number and their demand is very high. Such types of products have more demand but the supply is less, then definitely the price of those products will go high in the market. And so whenever the scarcity is there, there is a increase in the price of the product, and so all these reasons are the increase in cost of production. So these were the few points that were undertaken in this chapter. Now we will discuss the different multiple choice questions that are given in your textbook. The first one, who gave definition what is accepted universally in exchange of goods or services is money. This definition has been given by Robertson. The second question, what is the type of inflation called when there is an increase in demand? It is called demand pull. The third question is, what is the value of money during constant and steady price increase? It is decreases. The fourth question is, what is the type of inflation when the government controls inflation via rules and laws? Right now this time is the government is trying to control the inflation because recession period has started and it is called suppressed. Fifth question is, which economists believe that the true inflation is caused when there is rise in the price even when there is full employment? And the professor's name or the economist's name is Keynes. The sixth question is, what is the economic system called that allows exchange of rice instead of clothes? It is banking system. And the last question is, which of the following can be used as the best means for storage of value? And the answer is coins. Coins can be used for the storage of value. With this, we come to an end of this chapter. You are requested to write down the question answers that are given in your textbooks. Thank you, and this is Sanju Singh signing off.